Today I'm taking my girlfriend to Romania to watch an international football match. But she has no idea where we're going. All she does know is that we've got to be up at 4:30 a.m. to get to the airport. But you're not my girlfriend, so let me fill you in.
We're flying all the way to Bucharest to watch Romania versus Spain in the Under-21 European Championships.
There is a catch though. The producer has said we can only have the match tickets if we complete a series of challenges in Bucharest.
So you're dragging me off to a random country at 4 in the morning to watch a football game that we might not get into?
Yeah, pretty much.
We soon arrived at Luton Airport, where Laura would learn where I was dragging her to.
So before I tell you where we're going, one final guess as to where you think we could be going.
I think we're going to go to Honduras to watch Honduras versus Barbados.
No, Romania is where we're going.
Do they have beaches in Romania?
Not where we're going.
Sadly, I don't think Wizz Air do £50 flights to Honduras, but they do to Romania.
So we're here in Bucharest. We have arrived, and it's a beautiful city so far from what we've seen. We had the first text from the producer, though, with the first challenge. And he's told me we need to eat the national dish. Do you know what the national dish is? We've got to do some Googling to find this out, haven't we? So after a bit of Googling, we found out the national dish of Romania is samale. So we're going to go and try and find some. I've actually heard a lot of locals around here compare samale to NordVPN, but actually I think they're quite different. You see, we only find out the national dish of Romania is samale because we Googled it using a public Wi-Fi network, which could expose us to hackers trying to get our information. But we use NordVPN, which protects our data by encrypting it, meaning the hackers can't get anywhere near it. As someone whose entire business is online, a hacker is my worst nightmare, so NordVPN helps give me some real peace of mind when I'm around the world, travelling and connecting to public Wi-Fi. Considering this is the national dish of Romania, we've not had much luck finding it so far.
Not a lot of places sell it.
Not a lot of places sell it. I mean, cabbage wraps in meat, or meat wraps in cabbage, is it what it's described as? Maybe it's just not that popular where we are, potentially. Maybe it's more of a rural thing, but we're going to find it. I think this guy might know, but he's not very talkative. NordVPN also lets you watch football, or anything you want, anywhere around the world. Potentially you're on holiday, maybe in Romania, and you want to watch the Premier League, but it's region locked to the UK. What you can do is use NordVPN to change your location so the computer thinks you're in the UK, and that way you can watch the match completely as if you're at home on your own sofa. Or in Laura's case tonight, we'll be watching Love Island instead on ITV. You sell samale. Yeah, excellent, fantastic. Can we have a table two, please? Wonderful. So we finally managed to find some samale, and we're under this red canopy, so everything is like really red. Everything looks like a really bizarre colour right now, but I'm going to give this a try. You know what? That's actually really, really nice. It's got a really good flavour to it. It's like I don't know, quite a smoky flavour almost, at least this place, so I'm a fan. And that is way better value for money than the £7 that we spent on this samale, and it has a bunch more features too. There's a link down in the description which takes you to NordVPN's page with my exclusive link to get that great discount for you. Thank you very much NordVPN for helping out with this video, because this trip would not be possible without them, and without them I would not be able to drag Laura to football matches around Europe. So if you want to see more of it, then check out NordVPN. So now we're full, we have to wait for the next challenge to come through, and it's just come through. The text here, find the world's heaviest building. So, have you got an idea where the world's heaviest building might be? I'm assuming it's in Bucharest.
Well, I didn't bring a weighing scale, so we're just gonna...
You're hilarious, you're hilarious.
Just going to have to eye it.
Sorry, excuse me. Do you know where the world's heaviest building is? No, no, thanks, have a nice day. We're not really having much luck with this. We asked a few people, and no one seems to know what we're asking them, I think. So we might cheat, we might Google it, just to find out. It's got to be this big building, right?
But all the buildings are big.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they're all pretty standard, right? You know, there's nothing here
I reckon it'd be a church, because a church has got a lot of things.
Ah, yes, and they're usually a big heavy stone, aren't they? Maybe you're right, yeah. I think we could have found it by accident, because we just found this really big boulevard with fountains, tree lines. If we're going the right direction, I think this could be like a... It reminds you of like the Mall in London a little bit, towards like Buckingham Palace. Oh, I think we found it. I think we may have found the world's heaviest building. This is massive.
That is a pretty big building.
That is massive. I don't think the camera's going to do justice to just how big it is.
Bucharest Palace of Parliament apparently weighs 4.1 billion tonnes, and going inside it was easy to see why, because the entire place is floor to ceiling marble. We did an hour-long tour where apparently we only saw 6% of the building that goes 84 metres into the air and 92 metres into the ground. But the most important thing was we completed our second challenge.
So challenge number 3 has just come in from the producer. We need to buy a football shirt, which sounds pretty simple. I mean, it can't be too hard to find a football shirt shop. I mean, we're literally going to the Steaua Bucharest Stadium tonight, so there should be a club shop there. Although that would be too easy, maybe it's closed if by the time we get there, because the game's not until 10 o'clock tonight. So maybe we need to find a shop in the old town or around here somewhere.
If we don't complete this, we don't go to the football match, right?
Yep. And that's a big risk. We could be at the stadium looking for the club shop and it's closed and we couldn't get in. We have to try and, no, okay, we have to find something earlier in the day. We have to find something now. So we're very sweaty walking back to the Airbnb and we've just stumbled across this place. Football museum, which also has a football shirt shop inside. So not is it just a football shirt shop, we've also actually got Romanian teams as well. We've got all of them here. I love this Craiova one. That's really cool, Matt. We've got a Rapid here. My friend, I'm not that clued up on Romanian teams actually, so I'm not 100% sure. There's another Rapid one. That's quite a cool Rapid one there as well. But then you've got Steaua Bucharest.
I like that one.
That is quite cool, to be fair. And is there, what's behind here as well? It's like a red one.
Retro.
Yeah, kind of retro, to be fair.
Well, that's what it says on the label.
Oh, okay. We've got a yellow away kit there as well. It's more like a training top, that one, to be fair. An actual Romania shirt there, which is tempting to get. And we've got FCSB, which is slightly confusing because I'm not quite sure which one's the more legitimate team, because Steaua Bucharest and FCSB were once one team, then they split. They've also got a whole host of other shirts from around Europe, but I think these could be like match-worn player issue shirts because they are priced at that sort of level, but they've also got all the tags on the side. So this Anderlecht one has got the Pro League on there. There's a Schalke one here, which has got the Champions League on it as well. There's a Portuguese shirt. There's that Rio Ave FC. They've got some really cool shirts. Laura,
Yeah.
what's your favourite Romanian shirt that you've seen? We've got to get a Romanian one. I personally really like this Craiova shirt. I think it's cool, but we're not in Craiova, we're in Bucharest. You like the Steaua Bucharest one, don't you?
That one. Yeah.
That's the one.
I do like it. I like the colours in it.
Okay. So you think this Steaua Bucharest is the one to go for?
I think so.
So I've overruled. I bought the Craiova shirt instead. I preferred it, if I'm honest with you, and we had a budget for one shirt.
My opinion then.
Well, because I want to look like a nice guy in the video, but I got the Craiova one instead. And I asked the guy at the till actually about the Steaua Bucharest sort of situation, because I thought it was one team that split to two, but he said it's still one team, but there's just arguments over ownership, I think, and I think he said, is it FCSB where the fancy is the first club and like the original, so I guess they're the one to go for. So actually you picked up the shirt from the second team, which would have been bad for us, so maybe it's a good job with Craiova instead.
We didn't get a chance to explore the museum until the next day, but it turns out it might be the best football museum I've ever been to. Shirts from legends from around the world, as well as Romania's very best, and a World Cup football from every single World Cup.
So what's your favourite of these World Cup footballs?
That one.
This one, the 1990.
It looks quite Grecian, almost.
It does look quite cool actually, I like the little details on there, to be fair. I think purely for me, it might be the 74 one, just because of how just perfectly football it looks, right?
Yeah.
I guess. But I've got a special, heart for 1966 for England, obviously. And also I'm a big fan of 2002. I had one of these growing up and it was my favourite ball, so I've got a soft spot for 2002.
And my personal favourite are the gloves of Steaua Bucharest keeper, who saved 4 penalties as they won the 1986 European Cup against Barcelona. I would highly recommend a visit if you're ever in Bucharest.
The most important thing is we have completed all 3 of the challenges now, so we actually get to go to the game.
Woo!
which I'm sure you're so excited for, Laura.
So later that night, we hopped into an Uber and headed to the Steaua Bucharest Stadium for the 9:45 kickoff.
So I'll be honest, my knowledge of the 21 football is a little bit sketchy. Yours is non-existent.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win?
How loudly should I say this? Spain.
Okay, yeah. I don't think there's any Spanish fans here at all, so we're Romanian fans tonight, apart from you, apparently.
No. I want Romania to win, but do I think Romania will win?
That's a different story, isn't it? We've just done like a lap of the stadium, basically, thinking there'd be loads of like food vendors around the outside. There's not a lot actually like outside the stadium. Along the street, we got an Uber into the stadium, basically. It's like half an hour from where we're staying. Along the way, I could see loads of like, shops open, but that's kind of typical. Around here, there's nothing outside the stadium, so I presume all the food and stuff is inside, so I reckon we head in.
Now, the Steaua Bucharest Stadium is genuinely one of the best I've ever been in. Really modern, spacious concourses, and something I didn't realise I would appreciate until I used them, but the cleanest toilets I've ever seen in a stadium. The only downside was they treated the loudspeakers like a nightclub. Let me explain.
We've got a break in the pub.
They were blasting out copyright music, which is why you can't hear any audio from the game right now, and another bad thing was the food. It seemed like the entire food selection for the stadium was just Pringles, popcorn and Fanta, which is what we got. Laura was then obsessed with the referee's warm-up and found it fascinating that they actually had to do one, but I was more interested in Spain's warm-up as they practiced moving the ball quickly across the edge of the area before putting it into the middle and scoring. As this was the opening game in Romania, there was also a small opening ceremony, which was really strange as it consisted of some blokes holding up some cardboard for the first 5 minutes, but then they really decided to ramp things up.
Good.
I loved it.
Then the players came out and we found out that both teams have some real wonderkids. Spain have Man City's Sergio Gomez, Benfica's Abel Ruiz, and Real Madrid's Antonio Blanco. Romania have Bordeaux's Alex Pitu. 17-year-old Borza had just won the Romanian league, but best of all, Romania have one of the best national anthems I've ever heard.
So the game's kicked off and the music stopped, most importantly, so we can actually hear ourselves now, which is quite good. The fans are loud. It's not a very busy stadium right now, but the fans are loud, aren't they?
And chants catch on. And I think because everyone's Romanian here, it's all the same chant.
If there's an early goal for Romania, this is going to erupt. Even though it's like half full stadium, there's two distinct groups behind the goals, and I think they're different.
But they're both in back.
Yeah, but they seem to be doing different chants, and people seem to boo the ones at that end, I think. The fans behind the goal over there, but look, see, they're going for it. Everyone joins in with these chants. No one joins in with their chants.
But this one is just saying Romania.
Yeah, they are saying Romania, that's quite easy, I agree. Those ones over there, they're very orchestrated, but I have no idea what they're saying. It's in Romanian, obviously, and no one else joins in.
So one of my Romanian subscribers has provided us with a little bit of context for the two sets of fans behind the goals. I'm also really oversimplifying the situation. Steaua Bucharest were originally the team of the Defence Ministry during the Communist era, but they were brought back in 2003, and over the years they have gone through some slight name changes. The Ministry of Defence then set up a brand new team and said that they were the real Steaua Bucharest, and the old team was fake. The whole thing went to court, and this new team won the name and the club crest. So the new team is Steaua Bucharest, and the old team is now called FCSB. Both teams claim the history of the team, and at least on Wikipedia, both teams are credited with the same trophies up until 1999. So they both have that 1986 Champions League credited to them. Steaua Bucharest had to start in the lowest leagues of Romania and have quickly worked themselves up to the second division, but they can't get promoted to the first division because it's illegal for a state-owned team to be in the top flight of a sports competition. So these fans behind the goal are Steaua Bucharest Ultras, as we're in the Steaua Bucharest Stadium. FCSB play in the National Stadium instead. Behind the other goal, we have what my Romanian subscriber described to me as part-time Ultras. Essentially, they just follow the national team, but are apparently incredibly incredibly right-wing, and some would describe them as bordering on fascist. So basically, not very nice guys at all. And looking back on it, maybe us joining in with the chants of Romania, which was started by those guys, wasn't quite as innocent as we maybe thought it was.
So we're about 15 minutes in. It's been all Spain so far, right? Although I don't think they've had a meaningful shot on goal, have they?
No, it's disappointing from Spain. I expected more of them.
Yeah, I mean, they're very tidy in their build-up play. They're getting forward well. They just can't get the final ball until to get a shot away. But I think the ball's been in Spain's half from Romania about 3 times. And that's it.
I think I counted at least 4.
Well, okay, and 4 times, whatever you say. So about half an hour in, you're doing your phone past 5 minutes. Honestly, it's probably not the best game in the world, is it?
Yeah.
I do feel like we may have flown to the other side of Europe to watch what could be a 0-0 here.
Yes, I will say though, I think I prefer international football versus club football.
Why is that?
I understand the support for international teams more than I understand the support for a club.
Interesting. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, like a player in an international team, you play for your country, that makes sense, you support your country. Whereas like you support a club where players only stay for a few years.
So you're saying we need to come to more international games then?
Yeah, it depends on the country.
Okay, right. Well, we'll bear that in mind. Spain basically had a chance to score an open goal there, but the Romanian defender got back and stopped it pretty well.
You see, this is what I don't get about footballers is their job is literally to score goals.
And they couldn't do it there.
There was no goalie there.
Ooh, that was not far with the crossbar though.
I think what I like about watching Spain play is that they just constantly have the ball.
Yeah.
So it's like they just kind of pass it to each other.
Yeah.
And then the other team stays almost in like a circle in between the Spain team. It's very
They're very good at moving the ball around.
satisfying to watch.
It is, isn't it, to be fair? They're very good at what they do, but they can't score. And that's what the game is.
Yeah, so why play football?
Yeah, exactly. An even bigger chance has just gone missing. You missed it.
Yeah.
But Spain get the ball right down by this near side touchline, put the cross along the floor of the 6-yard area, in between the goalkeeper and defenders. The goalkeeper can't get to it. The defenders don't get to it. It falls to number 9 at the far post. All he has to do is just tap it in. I say goal for him to touch the ball. He put it wide.
Oh, I feel bad for him.
It was the bigger chance than the chance they missed earlier.
I feel quite bad for him.
Well, tough, he's missed it now. We are moments away from half-time though. I'll throw up the half-time stats. It's literally been entirely Spain. It's about 80% possession Spain. It is absolute domination from them, although they can't do anything with it. Romania's defence is holding it really well. They've done a really good job, I think. But
Romania's defence, yeah.
they've done good. I think Spain look like a club team to me. Like they look very well coached and very well drilled, as if they've been playing together a lot, like a whole season. Because they're so clever with their passing with each other. They just know where each other are all the time. Apart from when it comes to trying to score, then they just can't seem to do that at the moment.
I like it when footballers are friends. It's very cute.
Good. Well, Spain have scored a goal, and it was actually like one of their training routines that we saw before the game. They had the ball in the centre of the pitch, played it out to that far side wing, went right down to the goal line, put the cross into the spare man in the middle, completely open, and an easy finish into the bottom corner for the striker. So Spain have taken the lead here about 55 minutes into the game. Thoughts on that?
I wish footballers would give me a warning because I was on my phone.
As you can tell, it's a very entertaining game at the moment. 2-0 Spain. Did you see that one, Laura? No. Again, it's Spain just putting that pressure on. They're just passing the ball along the edge of the penalty area constantly until they find that gap. And I think the Romanian defence is getting a bit tired now. We're an hour into the game. They just passed it along the edge of the penalty area, found a bit of space. The left back, Juan Miranda, took the shot. Keeper should have done better, really, but it's a goal, 2-0 Spain.
Whatever speech the coach gave them worked.
Yeah, very much so. So there's about 15 or so to go, and I think actually Spain are getting a bit tired now. Romania, as you can hear from the crowd around us, are getting forward a little bit more. Still nothing meaningful, but they are having more possession in Spain's half, which is more than can be said for the first half, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm getting a bit tired.
Yeah. Well, it's nearly midnight, to be fair. It is a late game, this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank 21,230 seconds.
We've actually just seen maybe the best chance of the game from Romania. Their number 5 ran from the edge of his penalty area, dribbled past like 3 or 4 Spanish players to get to the edge of their penalty area, played it out wide for the cross, which came in, hit their number 9, who took the shot and he went like a mile over the bar.
I will say though, like it did all seem very lucky. Like it seemed like they were passing, but there was no one there, and then at the last second, someone was there.
Yeah,
it didn't seem very skilled.
I think
very lucky.
everyone's just really tired. I think that's what it is. It's so hot. It's nearly midnight here, but we are
Very
sweating.
hot.
It's so hot. That shot of the crossbar was enough to get the flares out. 1 minute at a time. The game is pretty much over here. Spain 2, Romania 0. What did you make of the game?
I think I was a bad luck charm for Spain. Every time I watched, they didn't score a goal.
But every time you didn't watch, they did score.
So I don't think I should come to any more games.
Not for Spain, at least. Not for Spain. Yeah. So now we've done something I need to do. We're going to head back to watch Love Island for you. Using NordVPN, of course. It's mental to think that this trip wouldn't have been possible without NordVPN. We wouldn't be able to do a trip like this without them. So thank you very much, NordVPN. And if you want to see us do more trips like this, then check out NordVPN, link in the description. Would massively appreciate it. And I can subject you to more football matches across Europe and the world, which I'm sure you would love.
Yeah.
Of course, as soon as we finished talking, Spain scored a direct free kick with the last kick of the game to end the match as 3-0 winners. I had planned on doing a bit more filming around the ground, but it suddenly hit me that it was midnight in an area that we're told wasn't the safest, and it was a 30-minute car ride back to where we were staying. So we quickly ordered an Uber and went back home. But everyone that we met was lovely. We had a great time in Bucharest, and I would really recommend going to see it if you've not been. So Laura has now been treated to 2 football matches. Let us know down in the comment section where you want us to go next. Of course, make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe if you're new around here. And if you want to see Laura's first ever football match, which she really, really enjoyed, you can watch that video on screen right now.